Hello, welcome to this week's Generation I podcast. Your host, me, Victor Martinez, along with Esan Farai, Vlad Uden, and Edwin Mejia.
What's up?
Welcome back. And again, thank you, Transparent Labs, for the sponsorship. This is great products. No binders, no fillers, no craziness. All straight up good quality protein.
Vic, tell them about the shirt, man.
Yeah, guys, this is the San Clemente film shirt. This is film was written by my friend Brett Nichols. He's a freaking great guy, smart guy. He's been working on this for a while. And what is the film about? Well, basically, it's a family adventure. It's a dark comedy, and you can think of it like Little Miss Sunshine and any other crazy family films you have seen with a crazy twist. It's going to be fun, and I think he has me in there playing, guess what, out of all things, a state trooper.
Wow. Can you handle that?
I know. Calm down. But there's one thing I got to tell you, though. If I'm going to play a freaking state trooper, I know a lot about it, man.
We're excited to see it. When does it come out, Vic?
He's actually working on locations right now, still casting, but it's going to be a great film. He's going to get great funding, and you guys, anybody who wants to do product placements, it's still open now, but it's going to close soon. Cut.
Nice. All right, so Transparent Labs got us 2 questions of the day today, right, Ed?
Yeah, so this week, I know people who submit their comments are going to be winning a chance to get new bags, actually, some new merch bags that we're giving away, courtesy of some of our supporters. We'll be sharing that with you once you get announced. So Vic, this week, selected 2 questions, and one of them comes from Jordan Roy 2401. What would be your suggestion for a heavily tattooed competitor? Ooh. Tattoos, I'm told, can hide conditioning, and I've asked judges, and they only suggested not to use cover-up. Does this mean that I have to condition twice as much as anyone else to be in the mix? Thanks.
Interesting. Tattoos are an interesting argument because if you think you're not going to do well with a tattoo, that's wrong, because Dorian Yates had tattoos. A lot of competitors had them, but they had them placed strategically where they did not take away from obscurity of their physique. You know what I mean? It's like it's placed either on the forearm, but now we're talking about, if you do a woman with titties tattoo, very distracting. Don't recommend it. It's just, it won't fly well. A lot of these competitions, remember, they're family shows. So they will definitely discredit you with some vulgar tattoos. And one of them also could be, let's say if you have tattoo of abdominals. Would that be considered cheating?
It's funny. Rich Piana did something similar to that. He did a waist tattoo.
Yeah, but that was made it obvious. I'm just saying, what if you do like shadows of the actual abs?
I've seen that before. People do that.
I don't know. Again, it's questionable.
I see the tattoo in the shoulder line. So the shoulder become more bigger.
He had that too.
He was the first person actually.
Yeah. Can it help? Can it not? The only thing I would say is if you do have tattoos, in order to just, take away from looking at that tattoo, you should just kind of get crazy conditioned.
What does he mean? The judges told him not to use cover up, like makeup.
Yeah, the makeup to cover
the
tattoo.
It will make it worse.
They get worse.
They make it worse?
Yes, it makes it worse.
Huh.
Yeah, they make it worse.
Yes, the makeup does make it worse because you can. Let's say you do come in super shredded. Now you have a tattoo. You cover it up. It's gonna look
because
like
cover is like a makeup, and makeup is like thick. So
thick. Yep.
So they try to be thin in skin. So imagine you put the cover on it. It's like you put this.
You guys seen that in some countries they do like the roll paint?
Yes. My country do that still.
They do it
like Dream Tan.
Yeah, it's Dream Tan.
Nah, I'm telling you,
they're rolling and then slapping like this.
I call Dream Tan Nightmare Tan. Every time I see it, I tell guys, you do not look good. You look horrible.
So crazy.
And the thing is, the guys usually probably do look good, but the Dream Tan makes it worse. You look like a penny almost.
Which guys these days that are pros have a lot of tattoos? I'm trying to think. That have a lot of tattoos.
There's a few guys with tattoos.
I'm trying to think who. Like Nick Walker has a couple of tattoos, I think.
Yeah.
Right? But not a lot.
Nick Walker has tattoos, but it's weird because
it's like on a forearm, I think, right?
Yeah, but it's weird. When a white guy gets tattoo, it looks pretty good. But some black guys, it looks just like a freaking splash. You got to use different colors. It's got to make sense. And when you do a tattoo and you're black as coal, it's like, use yellow or something and white. Is that possible in tattoo? I don't know. I'm not a tattoo artist, but your skin tone does make a tattoo better or worse. And I know it's a thing for a lot of people.
Why you don't have tattoo? You don't like tattoo? Sounds like you don't like tattoo.
I like tattoos. I do like them, but if I'm going to put something on that I have to see over and over,
it's got to be.
I got to make sure. If you put a freaking anything, I don't want to be affiliated with a gang. You put the wrong tattoo, you're a gang member now.
Bro, when you pass 50,
I don't want to be deported to Seco and just for a fake tattoo or translate it to something different.
So you don't want to be subordinate to Salvador?
I could go to Salvador and most likely I could make it back here through the border, but I don't want to go through all that. It's like, and especially
you don't want to be stereotyped.
They'll translate it to something else. You do a tattoo of a freaking, of a dumbbell. That's going to be considered you some kind of freaking iron coat gang or something.
But mostly physique guy has a tattoo.
Physique guys,
mostly physique guy. I can say 90% of the physique guy had tattoo.
You're right.
I don't know, but I think tattoos, most guys do it because they think they look tougher. I don't know. It's like, and it doesn't. A lot of people doing significance. Obviously, there's a lot of tribal.
So they asked Kim Kardashian why you don't have tattoo. She said,
I haven't decided on something that I could really deal with and kind of say, you know what, this represents me and some other stuff. And I will not do a tattoo that's already been made. If I want to do one, it's going to be something that's just made for me.
Now, the Kim Kardashian answer very nice. She said, no one put the sticker on Rolls Royce.
A bumper sticker.
I heard that before, yeah. What's interesting? Sometimes a guy, and he's like already for his whole life, no tattoos. And then suddenly he just starts getting a lot of tattoos. And in 1 year, it's like covered up in tattoos. That's kind of weird, right?
Well, that's just going through it, The worst thing about a tattoo is when your skin starts sagging. It looks like you're leaving oil paint. You say that King Kamali didn't have a tattoo until 50 years old.
Oh yeah.
So when he passed 50, right now, full hand, shoulder, chest, neck, everywhere he has tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, he had a lot of tattoo right now.
So they have to work harder, basically, right? The guy, like this guy here, what's his name, Jordan Roy, he has to work harder on conditioning, right?
You have to work harder. Try not to put a dead center on your back unless avoid tramp stamps.
Back tattoo.
If you have a low back tattoo and you're a guy, I know what you're into, man.
Vic, I think he's saying he already has a bunch of tattoos. It's not like he's going to get more.
I'm just saying, I'm just commenting where the tattoo is placed. If you're a guy, you have a tattoo, I don't know, on your ankle, that's just weird.
All right, let's go to the next question.
But that's exactly what you said. Back tattoo for bodybuilder is the worst because back has a lot of line. If you put a tattoo on it, you basically destroy
your
all
details
lines.
gone.
All details gone.
And again, if you're gonna bodybuild, that's an obvious thing that decide before you go ahead and just place them strategically. And I always like forearm tattoos. That's like the safest spot.
Yeah, safest spot.
Yeah. And try striations on a tattoo. I don't know. Abs. I think those are cool.
Let's go to the next one.
All right, what we have?
Yeah, so the next question comes to us from Stefan Sabev, 2437. A lot of people in the gym said you take Masteron Tren test, you have to
Masteron.
Yeah, that's how you spell it. But yeah. You have to put more Masteron and Tren than testosterone. Is it true?
What does this even mean?
Okay, you got Masteron, Tren are hardening agents, conditioning agents.
Victor, you didn't tell me you're using a lot of Tren. You told me don't use Tren.
Well, first I want to start off by saying don't use Tren.
Tren, exactly. He always say that don't use Tren.
Stay away from Tren.
But if you must use Tren,
if you're already doing it, good luck with your Tren. and I hope you don't catch spousal abusal.
Victor always against Tren. He's always said don't use Tren.
It's just that of steroids. I'm gonna keep saying you don't do drugs. You're doing drugs when you're doing Tren. That's like. But
what's he asking here?
I know what he's saying though. If you're gonna be on Tren and you're gonna be on Masteron, you should lower the test. And again, it depends on the person. It really depends on the person. Usually, you don't want to use too much testosterone so you could get the most out of the Tren and the Masteron. Get harder, getting closer to a show. But you don't want to also restrict building too much estrogen. Guys don't want to lower the libido. That's that risk you're also taking. If you're lowering the testosterone and taking more Tren and more Masteron, your libido is going to be basically kaput, gone. Forget about it. And
you lost it, everything.
If you have a woman, it's like, look forward to your breakup, man. She's going to be very unhappy. But usually that's kind of like the way that's out, More Tren, more... Masteron, less testosterone, just enough to get the full effect. Yes, you're gonna look great. Your libido is down. If your test is higher, Tren testosterone, you're gonna look good, but obviously you're gonna hold a little bit more water.
Tren and Masteron, it's both exactly very similar. 99% they look like each other.
Are they used a lot? Masteron used a lot?
Yeah, but I mean, people go because it gives them a good look. But remember, you're also gonna, the aggression. I mean, just the side effects alone is one of the things that you have to use it for such a short period of time, and not really. Or else you're gonna hit hell.
Not more than 4 weeks max.
Yeah, not a good feeling. If you're not mentally strong, it's gonna make you crazier than what you already are. But being that's basically the explanation to that. So if you are doing it for a show, all right. If you're just doing it just to walk around, don't bother, man.
I have a question. Any doctor using Tren for
there's no medical use.
We don't have anything medical for it.
There's no medical use. If you're a police officer, firefighter, whatever, anything, government, and they find testosterone, you can actually simply find a reason why to use it based on medical. But if they find something like EQ, Tren, Masteron, basically,
they
could use that against you if they're really trying to get at you or go for your job or anything. Especially if you shoot somebody. You had Tren?
Wow.
I mean, when a cop shoots somebody, the first thing they ask for is, let me see the blood work.
Yeah, steroid is on it, I don't know.
Yeah, and you have Tren on you? Dude, it's most likely they'll try to cover that up too, though. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Speaking of all this, you just know a guy who got his pro card, second show, and completely natural.
Yeah, Hurricane, man. He's from the gym. This guy's a beast, man. He's
and no steroids, completely natural.
Yeah, natural IFBB pro right now. Jeffrey Hurricane DeFore. This guy, I always see him in the gym. At first I didn't want to talk to him. He's always with his freaking tripod, but no, he's messing with you. But as soon as you saw him, he's like, damn. This guy can really be a pro. And I walked up to him early this year and I was like, dude, just do a show this year. Like just the way you are right now without even dropping water, you can win whatever show. And not only did he win, this is like his second show. He got his pro card at the Pittsburgh Pro.
Pittsburgh Pro, it's big show. Pittsburgh Pro is not easy. Not easy to anyone.
I mean, he was looking forward to doing Team U. He doesn't have to do all that craziness. But he won I think the physique, the classic physique, the novice, and the open.
Are you working with him or no?
No, don't need any work with him. He's doing the right thing. He knows what he's doing. And again, the only thing I said is like, let's practice some of the posing.
But right now he's pro. If he come to you and say, hey, Wick, help me for pro qualification.
He knows I'll help him. He knows that. He knows that I offered it already. And but I said, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't do anything crazy. And look, he's a pro. And I have to say he's a well-deserved pro.
Nice.
Not on top, not just his physique, but also his kindness. He's a very nice guy.
Nice.
All right, well, guys, submit your questions in the comments below, and hopefully Vic will answer them, right?
Yeah, hopefully I will.
You need to take your muscles to the max! Whoa there, Turbo. Do you even know what's in that stuff? Oh, yeah. See, most protein powders are filled with artificial sweeteners, food dyes, and filler.
Really? I wouldn't put that stuff in my body.
Neither would I. Transparent Labs is made with just a handful of all-natural ingredients without any of the weird stuff. Transparent Labs. Protein without the weird stuff.
So what do you think of the Rock has a movie coming out? What he's playing Mike Kerr, MMA fighter and a wrestler. What do you guys think of that transformation of The Rock?
Rock is always in shape, man. Rock is always in shape, and with him to actually get into a role and you have to, just look in better shape. It's really not that hard.
I was watching his pictures and the clip coming out. His skin get old. He doesn't have that.
Maybe it's the makeup on purpose, no?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
How old
yeah.
is he? He's like 50?
He should be over 50.
He's 50 already, man.
Yeah, he should be over 50. But his skin is not. His skin is not that sharp and clean.
Let me see that picture.
Because of the losing a lot of weight.
Well, getting shredded.
Shredded, yeah.
Yes. Because for this film, you have to get a little bit more shredded.
Yes,
and
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when you get that loose
his skin is losing because of his weight goes down. And we always look at him as a big dude, he's always big. And right now he's shredded. I think this is the shredded ever we saw him.
He doesn't look as massive.
He's always
looks massive and big.
Remember, he does the films, and then he always goes back every once in a while to WWE.
Yeah.
To make cameos and all that. So for the film, I think he skipped this year's Royal Rumble. Not sure, but
I don't know.
But yeah, you're right, because he looks good filled out. He looks good just playing The Rock himself. But when you lose that extra weight and you're big like him, just to get tighter, you're gonna have that loose skin, which is you're gonna see a lot of that in the Masters Olympia this year.
Can we say he's the Arnold of the time, carrier the bodybuilding fitness and advertising this sport to the society?
Well, he came away of wrestling because of his father.
Yeah.
So I would have to say he's way bigger than Hulk Hogan, man.
Definitely, he is.
Yeah. So coming out of wrestling and everything he's done, and he's got the football league.
Yeah.
He
has more than
Hogan movie. Is that still a thing? The football league?
Yeah.
XFL?
XFL, yeah.
Were you a Hulk Hogan fan growing up?
I was, until he got all crazy and Hulk Hogan all racist and What happened, Hulk? Damn, bro.
Oh, yeah, we all forgot. He was caught with those racial slurs, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I knew you thought it and everything, but Hulk, I ain't messing with you no more, man.
Yeah. Not a good look for Hulk Hogan.
Like, damn, Hulk.
I
believed in you, man.
But he allegedly won a huge lawsuit against this company called, was it Gawker?
Yeah, and when that came out, at that time, I was still pro Hulk Hogan, and I was like, cool, man, get him, Hulk. And then you come up with the other shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm not cool. Me neither. I don't think it was a good move on his part. I think he lost a lot of fans after that. He knows the same.
Yeah, I even know all his rants, but I can't even say it right now. I know all of it. I was die hard.
Better we don't say them in this because we don't want Generation I be taken down after that either. So
no, I mean no, not the bad rants like
the good rants.
No, the good ones when he was wrestling. Before he came out.
So you think he's like a stain on WWE?
Not on them. They're just not going to bring him back, though.
Well, McMahon too got all types of things happening.
Yeah, because he's into the pooping stuff, And again, my question is, how much money do you have that you just get bored of, the missionary and the doggy style?
I mean, these P Diddy cases are insane right now, especially people out there. They have very, very interesting lives.
P Diddy, buying too much baby oil, fucking Jim McMahon, going the poop way, and I don't know, man.
Speaking of, he had a big documentary on Netflix, obviously, and then most recently, Liver King was just showcased on Netflix and Generation
Liver King, yeah.
And Generation I made the cut. We were on there, which was interesting because
nice.
Liver King is being exposed. And I guess a lot of people now are finding out. The greater world is finding out.
What's
who
the
Liver King is.
documentary about it? About the bottle of the
About all his
water?
bullshit.
Bottle of the water.
About all his bullshit.
Yeah, apparently he's on there. I mean, they have a lot of stories on there about him.
No bad publicity. You know, as long as you're getting publicity, it's just he's getting it out there. I don't know. But Liver King, I still today, even when he was a thing, I didn't know why he was a thing. I was like, I don't even know what this. And I was trying to find out why. I don't understand.
Apparently, he used to steal from supplement stores. In the documentary series, they show him speaking about his stories about how he used to steal supplements from stores. He used to also print fake money. A lot of fraudsters type of stuff.
Feds watching, man. I don't know. Are you gonna admit that on video? He admitted that on video.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but allegedly that's what's in the doc.
Can't say I ever mess with fake money.
Yeah. You see, speaking about the Rock transformations for these.
Proud. He's proud of himself.
I know, but I don't know, man.
But
again, he made money.
Speaking about the Rock transformations, you know what's interesting? I mean, you have like, you know, I know that he was on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan never asked him about his cycle. You know, do you think that The Rock is on?
I mean, you don't want to ask that of The Rock. Is you don't want to outshine the actual interview. I mean, and at the end of the day, somebody asked The Rock, "Are you juicing?" He should just come out and be like, "None of your business." Yeah, that's what he should just say.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, a lot of people were just. The reason I'm mentioning is a lot of people were surprised that he didn't say anything in the interview. But the point is, he had a pretty interesting transformation.
You know, he's there for the actual interview, and you know, it's kind of like when Mike Tyson went into some interview, and the guy went in and violated and asked him about that issue. You know, and that was the best response I ever seen. You know, I was like, that's how most people should respond to bullshit. You know, reporters when they ask violating questions like that. I mean,
because at the end of the day, The Rock is not trying to like sell, you know.
He's not selling nothing fake, man.
Nothing fake. All right, like where Liver King, he was selling the ancestral lifestyle.
Yes.
I call bullshit.
Well, he was being clearly fake, you know.
And he was claiming to be natty, and that's why people came down on him.
Yeah, but a lot of people go after Mike Ahern for the same thing. And Mike Ahern is allegedly, you know, people go after him because they're saying he's not natural. But
I don't think Michael printing fake money behind the desk, you know?
Yeah, but he's not selling nothing fake, though. He's not claiming anything fake. He's not, you know, being all...
I like Mike Ahern, by the way. I'm just saying people go after him.
Yeah, they're always going to go out there. Remember, when you're doing something great and somebody wish they could do it and they'll never do it because they can't do it, they're going to always stir something up, you know? Yeah. It's just the nature of the freaking beast of these primitive human beings.
Yeah. Did you like his performance in Magazine Dreams?
I think so. I think he was great. He's such he's talented, man. He's talented. He's strong.
Pause.
Again, you know, it's not for the faint of hearts. People get offended for anything these days, but I think he was good, man. I think he was great, actually, and I think somebody should really get him on some, you know, the big A film somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know?
Speaking of films, do you think, because Magazine Dreams was a great film, right? It was a great performance, but it was very dark. And a lot of people saying, you know, why it's got to be such a mental illness portrayed as a bodybuilder, right? But do you think a movie like a Rocky is possible to create in the bodybuilding world? Because Rocky was not dark. Rocky was kind of like inspirational to a degree, right? If you look at the Rocky movie, right?
Yeah.
It was sad, but it wasn't like dark, right?
Yeah.
Do you think a bodybuilding industry can have a Rocky story?
I think so.
I think you can.
Yeah.
You know, but remember, the only thing that always outshines the actual bodybuilding is right away when somebody sees muscle, they think steroids.
Immediately. And it comes
immediately. It's like they never think, they never look at a musician and think, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They never think a musician think, you know. This guy's on he's on that black tar thing, you know. They never say never ever music and movies, nothing. And meanwhile, 80% of them are using it, and it's just the thing. But when it's bodybuilding, you look good, you look in shape, and regardless of how natural you are, like right now, they're probably saying Jeffrey is like, nah, that's bullshit. He's not natural.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, they're doing that. Right now, they're standing by their word and saying he's not natural. So it's just, that's the only thing when it comes to bodybuilding.
It's like a
We're always
shade
going
on
to
him.
catch a bad rap.
Yeah.
And that's why, and every time when a guy works out for a year and he does a crime, right away they label bodybuilder kills woman. You know, it's like it's always going to be a thing, and it all started from the whole baseball era.
But we have to look at this too. Back then, boxing was huge. That's why Rocky movie hit. Right now, bodybuilding is not that huge. Yeah, fitness industry is get huge. Fitness industry. Each building.
Fitness actually rules most of social media, man. Because everybody's flaunting
Yeah,
their
that's what I'm talking
physique.
about. Fitness industry is huge, but not specific bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, fitness comes out of the bodybuilding, but right now, fitness to become huge. And look at this. Any building right now you see in the city, they have a fitness room. But none of them has basketball room. None of them has swimming. Just few has a pool. That one has a pool. They shut down the pool. They open the gym.
Yeah.
So each hotel, Arnold Schwarzenegger said, he said, back then when I travel, I have to looking for the gym local.
Yeah,
right
of
now,
course.
each building has gym.
There's a gym everywhere now. And,
Yeah.
and it's funny because you walk into a room, you're a bodybuilder, and already people kind of have some weird kind of thought
Stigma,
about you.
some kind of, yeah.
I think if the movie
Stereotype.
come out like a Rocky in this industry, it's supposed to be a person, I don't know, bodybuilder or in industry competitor, and come out, develop himself in fitness in the industry, which
Like a
is more,
businessman or something?
yeah, which is more open window, because bodybuilding industry is very close,
Yeah.
very short window. It's not big.
Yeah, it's small window, and there's a lot you can do after. And I mean, you see a lot of guys with social media now. You do a couple of shows that can set you up to do other things.
And Ramondino, I guess there was some rumors that Ramondino is basically possibly considering men's open division. He officially said that he's
good
not
for
sure
it.
if he said he's not sure if he's ready. When he wants to make a decision, he wants to be 100% ready. What do you guys think about it?
He's good for it. You know, he's gonna have to put on a little more size. But when I saw him at the Arnold last year, he looked. I mean, he looked like open already. You know, but I think he's good for it, and I think he should at least give it one more try at the Classic.
I think so too. I think he has a chance,
Yo.
not even better chance now to win, right?
Yeah, they probably didn't consider him classic. They looked at him as more open because he did put on crazy amount of muscle. You know, Dino can be, you know, great open pro, but you know, and right now the way he is, he's gonna be a good aesthetic open pro. But with the guys like Samson and these guys holding such mass, it's gonna be a challenge. Can he do the Classic one more time? He should, but he can't come in with that crazy size he did last year.
For open, he need a lot of size.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
At least 2 years he has to be go off season. 2 years.
Well, Chris Bumstead did it. He wanted a men's open.
Yeah,
remember?
Chris Bumstead did it, man.
But
And,
Chris
Dino-
Bumstead
Got second place.
Chris Bumstead growing every year with his show. Right now, he's a classic guy. He wants to go against 300, 260, 240. He's not 200 even on stage.
Yeah, but I put my money on Dino doing great in the open if he decides.
Yeah.
How about, I mean, have you guys heard of this?
I think this is a bad decision.
yeah.
I mean,
I think
even
so
if
too.
he-
I think it might come down to several factors, but I think it might be a bad decision.
This is a bad decision. He's narrow shoulder. He has a narrow shoulder. He's thick, but he doesn't
He's
have that
thick.
wideness
Yeah,
like a bodybuilders. You
But
know?
again, I'm looking at Chris Bumstead got second. He's a little bit bigger than Chris Bumstead.
Come
but
on,
the
you
clavicle, the width.
you can't compare him to Chris
No,
Bumstead.
I know, but the thing is, you're right. You know, Bumstead had wider clavicles, and that is a big plus when it comes to open. But I like Dino, so I'm a bit biased. So
He's a good person. He's a great for a sport, actually.
yeah.
He's a great for a sport.
Very
He's a
famous.
great for classic. He has a lot of fan, crazy fan, not normal fan.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is the bad decision he go to open because of the form of physique he has. He has narrow shoulder, thick guy. I think he has to stay in the classic and prove himself on the classic. He's a classic guy.
You really thought about this?
Yeah.
It's not really.
You
I don't
can,
know
but
about
remember, a freaking second or third place in the open gives more money than the first in
No
Classic.
way he can comes to 10th place in the
Oh
open.
no, man! It'll be
No
something to
way.
see. It'll be something to see. Remember,
maybe 2 years.
Maybe if he
off.
goes to Ireland, maybe then, you know.
Ireland. Oh man, actually, but I like Ireland, bro. I don't know, man. I'll go to Ireland just to see Larry compete, just because I love Ireland, man. I've never been to so many bars in one day.
Wow,
like Ireland, man.
It's a beautiful country. Actually.
Oh man, I was
Beautiful.
I was all whiskey it up over there, man. yes.
Speaking of people moving to different divisions and bodybuilders overseas, I mean, there's a bodybuilder in Germany called Albertus Krinicus. Have you guys heard of this guy? He's a 19-year-old bodybuilder.
he's huge.
I saw him.
And he's about 205 pounds, 203 pounds.
He looks
Classic. He's already won 2 shows, 19 years old.
No, he's not a pro yet, is he?
No,
is he
but
pro?
solid 209
No, he's not
pounds.
pro. He's not pro.
He's silent.
I mean, the fact that he's not only 204, 203 is insane. He looks a lot bigger than
He
that.
looks a lot bigger. Yeah.
But-
Look, this person is good for open category. Small waist,
Yeah.
wide shoulder, muscle round. All muscle, you look at the biceps round, shoulder round, quad is wrong. Everything is wrong. This person at 19 years old with this size, imagine he goes to 26, 28. You know, when I look at him, I remember Keon.
Yes.
I remember exactly like a Keon. Keon, when he come,
Keon Pearson.
Keon, Flex Wheeler brought him to this sport. When I saw Keon, he was small but beautiful shape. But look at him right now. He was standing next to Samson in Pittsburgh Pro. I was looking at him and say, Keon, please come to open. Please. He at the offseason, he was amazing next to Samson.
He holds muscle great, but I think this kid should just focus on the classic, not rush to open.
Yes.
Because the open is just that whole size game is going to start distorting his physique. And right now, the way his physique is, he's a great
He
classic
looks like
competitor.
a really, really solid future competitor in the
I mean,
IFBB.
every pound he puts on is a quality pound.
Yeah.
You can see him. It's like he's growing nice and balanced, too.
Yeah, young, skin nice,
Yeah.
everything is good.
I hope he has a good mentor, and doesn't fall into some craziness.
But what's going on in Germany? The classic goes to German. This guy comes up. The German bodybuilders start to come up again. I mean, after Marcus Roll and Dennis Wolf, we don't have anyone to become crazy.
It's the prestige, Look at bodybuilding, not enough prestige, but Germans have always been, great. Look at all, Arnold's from that region. It's just that whole region came out with always great bodybuilders. So you can never discount them out. I mean, come on. Colombia is coming out with great bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter where it is. It's who's actually falls, for the love of bodybuilding and does it and sticks to it. But it could be anywhere. Remember, go back to the early 90s and how many bodybuilders were there in the Middle East? Not that many.
None. Just Samir Banout.
A few. You could
Samir
count.
Banout.
On a world stage, they probably existed, but not on the
No,
world.
there was
not
a
on the
few,
world
but
stage.
not
World
like
stage,
now.
yeah.
Now it's like
Yeah,
you're getting a
everyone.
lot.
It's a huge
man.
movement, of course.
So it's a lot of people doing it. It's just a lot of people don't have the support or the means to actually, sustain their bodybuilding lifestyle. That's all it is. So, but this guy is great. He's gonna come out a lot more as we go, and good luck to him. All right, guys. Thank you for this week's Generation I podcast. Remember, want to see any of our prior episodes? Tune in to iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Until next time, remember, follow us and like and appreciate the support.